My name is Alex. This is my story of fighting for the truth. It starts a long time ago. Around 2012, I lost my incapacity benefit. I was left struggling to live on my lifelong DLA and job seekers allowance. But no one can live on just that. I was forced to find work, even though I was in constant pain. But I tried. I really tried. Then, in 2017, the DWP told me my DLA was ending. I had to apply for PIP. On December 11, 2017, I went to a face-to-face assessment with a nurse Holloway. I told her about my lifelong leg condition. I told her about my stress-induced convulsions. I told her about my depression and anxiety. This is her report. She wrote that she saw me walk with a normal speed and gait, that my physical exam was unremarkable. She used my job against me, writing currently employed as a driver, drives daily. Based on her report, a DWP decision maker, a Mr. Davies, awarded me 0 points. 0 for daily living, 0 for mobility. I was in shock. I asked for a mandatory reconsideration. I sent a letter with an advisor explaining, on a bad day I have no mobility and my thoughts make me at risk of harming myself. Ms. Roberts, at the DWP replied. She said she looked at everything and found the 0-point decision was correct. In 2019, I lost my DLA, my lifetime award, and my car. I didn't appeal. My anxiety was too high. I was in disbelief. I felt like no one could understand me, like I was talking a different language. With no disability benefits, I was desperate. The job center forced me to work. Here's what happened. My first job was a wash operator. On my very first day, I collapsed. I fainted from the stress and the pain. I couldn't do it. I tried desk work, but I couldn't read the callers' names. They gave me a 1-page script, and even after a week, I couldn't memorize it. I failed. Then I went to a bakery as a delivery driver. I got through training. On my first day out, we started at 3:30 a.m. The other drivers were back by 6 a.m. At 4 p.m. in the afternoon, I was still out, trying to deliver my load. I was completely lost, slow, and confused. Then I went to a window company. At first, as a sales rep, but the leg pain from driving so much meant I made no sales. So they made me a canvasser. For 12 months, I was supposed to walk door to door. I couldn't. I forced myself, but most days, I just ended up sitting in my car, in agony. Then, in 2018, I was assaulted by a bouncer. I was in a coma. I had blunt trauma to my abdomen. This is where my CPTSD diagnosis comes from. After I recovered, I tried Amazon. I was a packer. It was agony. Standing in a tiny cubicle for 10 hours a shift. I was only there through an agency, and they fired me while I was in the hospital. I even went back to Amazon as a store operative, but I made too many mistakes. The manager found me hard to deal with. I lost that job too. Every single job, it was the same story. The pain, the standing, the walking, the confusion. I really tried my best to be normal and do what the DWP said. I couldn't. The job center finally put me on limited capability for work. But my health was collapsing. I'd been coughing for a year, but I was smoking heavily and thought it was just a cough. Then my first major COPD flare-up happened. I was so sick, I applied for the Unfit for Work group, LCWRD. I had a video assessment with a Mr. Evans on April 19, 2024. He saw the real me. This is his report, from the DWP's own bundle. He noted my history of mental health problems. He saw I was unkempt, tearful throughout, had poor eye contact, was tense and withdrawn, had poor concentration, and needed prompting, and had difficulty coping today. Because of his report, the DWP sent me this letter. They agreed I have limited capability for work and work-related activity. The DWP agreed I was severely disabled. I kept getting worse. My lungs. In April 2025, my lung collapsed. I was hospitalized. Doctors and family told me to claim PIP. I couldn't face the stress, the disbelief. In May 2025, I had a phone assessment with a nurse Shaw. Just days later, the DWP denied me 4 points. In July, my lung collapsed again. I was referred for lung surgery. In August, my lung collapsed a third time. I asked for a mandatory reconsideration. They denied me again. This time, I appealed, and I got the DWP's bundle. This is my response. Good morning. This is the appeal from Mr. Alex, Ref. Braun, Ms. Carter, and Mr. Harris for the DWP are all present. Judge Ellen, please begin. Thank you. This is the appeal of Mr. Ox. The DWP has awarded 4 points for daily living and for mobility. Mr. Harris, you are representing the Secretary of State. You will have seen the appellant's new evidence of his upcoming thoracic surgery. Sounding tired? Yes, Judge. I have. And you've noted the significant contradictions between the DWP's own LCWRA assessment from April 2024 and the PIP assessment from May 2025? I have noted those. Yes, Judge. Given these contradictions, and the clear evidence in the bundle of a 1993 diagnosis for lower limb spasticity, what is the DWP's position this morning? Judge, having reviewed the bundle in its entirety, I cannot actively defend the decision. I am here to assist the tribunal if needed, but I will be resting on the DWP's written submission. Very well, Mr. Harris. We appreciate your candor. Panel, let's establish the facts. Dr. Brown, the PIP assessor, Ms. Shaw, concluded moderate COPD. Yes, Judge. The assessor's report seems to base this moderate conclusion on the fact the appellant has no rescue pack, no home oxygen. This is a significant understatement. The DWP's own bundle contains a letter from a Dr. Price, fictional name for long at the hospital, which query diagnoses severe chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. Furthermore, the file is full of discharge summaries for 3 separate collapsed lungs in 2025. He is now awaiting major lung surgery. This is not a moderate condition. And the mobility. The assessor's justification for the 50 to 200 meter score. This is the most glaring error. The assessor states on page 224, no MSK conditions are documented in GPFR. This is demonstrably false. I am looking at page 153 of the same bundle, a GP record from 1993, which clearly lists lower limb spasticity, and on page 195, a 1985 hospital letter confirming treatment for knock knees. The assessor's justification is based on a false premise. Ms. Carter, what is the functional impact of that? Functionally, it changes everything. If you combine the chronic breathlessness from severe COPD with the pain from lifelong spasticity, his testimony that he can't walk 20 meters reliably seems far more credible. This also relates to his work history. The 2017 assessor, Nurse Smith, fictional name for Holloway, used his delivery driver job as proof of function. But his new testimony explains he was forced into that work and failed at it. Dean lost, slow, and confused, which brings us to the mental health assessment. The PIP assessor, Ms. Shaw, awarded 0 points for planning journeys and engaging with people, claiming no current mental health input. Again, this is directly contradicted by the bundle. We have multiple psychological reports confirming severe post-traumatic stress disorder (CPTSD). One report from 2020 states he barely leaves home due to panic attacks. The assessor completely ignored this. And finally, the DWP's other assessment, the LCWRA report. That's the most significant contradiction. On April 19, 2024, a different DWP assessor, a Mr. Evans, fictional name for Milnes, observed Mr. Alex as unkempt, was tearful throughout, had poor eye contact, tense, and withdrawn, needed prompting, and had difficulty coping today. The DWP accepted this, and awarded E an LCWRA. Months later, the PIP assessor says he coped well. Both cannot be true. The LCWRA report clearly shows he cannot engage or plan journeys without overwhelming psychological distress. Judge Allen. So, to summarize, the DWP's assessor has made significant errors. They've contradicted their own department's findings, ignored formal diagnoses of CPTSD, and made factually incorrect statements about the GP records for his spasticity. The evidence strongly supports the appellant. Presses a button. Clerk, could you please invite the appellant, Mr. Alex, and his representative, into the hearing now to be continued.